Hey guys, how is everybody doing? Continuing my Resident Evil video game review series, I'm going to be reviewing the Resident Evil 2 remake, which was released in 2019. So, from here on out, the next two or three reviews that I'm going to be doing, so including this one, which we'll say is three, is going to be the Resident Evil remakes, just like I did for the remake of the first one, which came out on GameCube. But these are more modern remakes. You got Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4, which are more modern remakes for Resident Evil, which released on PlayStation, Steam, and Xbox, and all of that stuff. So the first one that we were going to be reviewing in this new era of Resident Evil remakes is the 2019 one. Got it? Okay, good. If it's confusing, then sorry. I just realized that my big TV is in the way of this. But hey, at least I get the showboat for it. Starting off with my positives on the Resident Evil 2 remake, and something that I really love about this remake, and everything that it makes me enjoy this game to where it doesn't baffle me at all on why we got Resident Evil 3 and 4 remakes, and presumably a Code Veronica remake and a Resident Evil 5 remake, which we all know is coming. Is this to me is survival horror at its best. This to me does everything right that survival horror should be, and it's just perfection to where you got to run around, conserve ammo, you got to do puzzles, you got to run away. I can't speak. Run away from enemies. You get to explore different sections throughout the game where it starts off for the police station, then all of a sudden you're in the sewers, and then you're in Umbrella's laboratory. I think to me, this is survival horror at its best. So when you ask me what does survival horror look like, I instantly think of Resident Evil 2. To me, this just does everything perfect, down to the characters, the atmosphere, the setting, the weapons that you use, the enemies that you have to kill, the enemies you have to run away from. This is survival horror at its best, and there's nothing that this game does not do right when it comes to making it a survival horror game. And obviously, since this game is in this like new generation of Resident Evil games, and this is like the new generation of Resident Evil remakes, this was at the time after Resident Evil 7 was a huge hit, and then this came out, then they remade 3, then they remade 4, and then they came out with 8, and now they're coming out with Requiem. To me, this is an amazing game because of its graphics. One of the best things about this game, and why I think that Resident Evil is so beloved right now, is not only for what they're doing story wise with their new games, but graphically, this game looks amazing. Down to the lighting, down to the blood just speared all over the walls, which is amazing detail, down to the look of the monsters and all that, which I will get into later. This game to me is graphic perfection and just looks amazing. Graphically, this is one of the best games I have ever seen. And I I know we live in a world where Red Dead Redemption 2 exists, God of War exists, GTA 6 is going to be a thing. Supposedly, we got a lot of games that look great. Like, I'm not saying that this game looks better than those games by any means, but for survival horror and this kind of game, this game to me is just one of the best things I've ever seen. Like, down to the atmosphere and the lighting, and just mostly the lighting. Like, this game is pretty dark. Like, it's kind of hard to see anything, which, again, definition of perfection of survival horror. The lighting in this game to where the graphics look amazing. Like, I absolutely adore the look of this game to where I literally just look at it in awe. Like I also I played the transfer version of this game for the PS5 because I own it on PS4, and then I just downloaded the 5 version for free, and there's really no difference there. And for a PS4 game that came out like what, technically it's not a PS4 game, but a game that came out like 7 years ago, this game still looks amazing. I absolutely adore the look of this game, graphically and tonally. This game is just amazing, and I there's nothing else I could say. And I had talked about this in my review for the first game, the remake of the first game, I guess. And I talked about my issue about how you can play as Chris and Jill, which I do like, but their two campaigns are basically just the same. You're just playing as a different character and you get different perks. Like, oh, as Jill, you get more storage, and you also get a lockpick. But as Chris, you get less storage, and you get a lighter, and you don't get to kill the big plant monster with this magic goop that you get to make with Jill. Other than that, their campaigns are pretty similar. But what I like about this game is that the two campaigns are pretty different in their own ways. Now, sure, yes, you can say that this game that the two campaigns in this game are basically the same, which I wouldn't argue with you because they basically are because this game calls a thing to where they have as Leon A and Claire B, or Claire A and Leon B. I kind of had a stroke for a second. And basically whatever one you play as, you will get the official ending of whatever B campaign you play. Because, for instance, I played on Leon A and Claire B, and I got the official ending of Resident Evil 2 on the Claire ending. And I really like how different the two campaigns are, not only because you get the official ending as Claire or Leon, whatever campaign you decide to play first and then play second, is that there are differences throughout the campaign. Sure, you're going through the same things, you're going through the police station, doing the same puzzles, and then you're also going through the sewers, and then the laboratory, and you're doing these exact same things, but there are differences. For instance, when you play as Leon, you go up against Mr. X pretty late on in the game, which is one of the best things about this game, which I'll get into. And then when you're playing as not Chris, as Claire, then Mr. X shows up really early on in the game and makes you like, oh shit, Leon's already bumped into him, and now Claire's got to deal with this motherfucker because Leon's already gone, and now Claire's got to deal with this big motherfucker. I absolutely think that is great, and that is a really cool change that they had for this game, which is an issue that I have with the Resident Evil 1 remake. Because, again, I talked about that, like, you could remake that game and do the same thing that you do with here. And then in the Claire campaign, you also get the introduction of Sherry and that and the sheriff guy or whatever. Like, you got that whole situation going on. And then as Claire, you go through doors that you weren't able to unlock as Leon, and you find keys that you weren't able to find as Leon. Like, there are different changes in the two campaigns to where it makes it unique and it makes you want to go replay the game. Because when I beat the Leon campaign, I was still thriving for Resident Evil 2. Like, especially the first time I played this game a few years ago. I played it back in 2020, back when we were all isolated in our homes, and I need something to do. So I played this game, I beat it, and I was like, I still got the itch. I'm gonna play as Claire, and it just gave me everything I already got as Leon, but it also gave me more. That is what I absolutely love about the two campaigns in Resident Evil 2. It does everything that I would hope that the first game would do. But yet again, these two games do take place, I don't know, almost 2 decades apart. So maybe I'm in the wrong for saying that. But I think that the idea of having the two campaigns be similar, but also adding differences to make them unique is great. Sure, I don't want to keep bringing up the first game because it's an entirely different game from an entirely different time period. But it's a good comparison. But like when you look at that first game, there's really no differences besides maybe two or three things. In this game, there's a lot more differences to where it makes it more unique and it makes this game even more replayable because of that. And I think one of the reasons why I really love this game and why I always say that this is one of my favorite Resident Evil games is the setting. I absolutely love the setting of the police station. To me, this is the most iconic setting in the entire franchise. Now, sure, the Spencer Mansion is where it all started. It has the iconic scenes like the dogs jumping through the window, which was one of the biggest jump scares in video game history. And then you got the moments where you fight the big snake and all of these iconic moments from the first game, but to me, the setting of the police station of Resident Evil 2 is just amazing. The idea of being set at a police station where you're supposed to be safe, because whenever you watch like a zombie movie or an apocalypse movie, they say, "Oh, the police station is the safest place to be. There's guns, there's ammo, there's a bunch of police officers to keep you protected." But this game basically tells you, "Nope, whatever's going on in this police station is going on outside." Or
wait a minute. Strike that. Reverse it. Thank you.
actually, scratch that, reverse it. Whatever's going on outside is going on here in the police station to where you're even more fucked. I think that the setting is just absolutely amazing. I absolutely love it. I love how bone chilling it is and just how small scaled it is, but it also makes it feel so big. And then, like, again, I'll get into Mr. X, but then, like, when you're doing puzzles in certain rooms and then you hear him walking around, like, above you, those attention to details in the game, like that to me is just awesome. First, I don't know, I don't knew, I got a little Canadian there. I don't know why, but the setting of the police station to me has always been the perfect setting of Resident Evil. I don't know what it is about the police station. Just something about it just makes it special to where every time I replay this game, and every time I even I watch people play this game out of boredom some days. Like when I watch people play this, just something about the setting in the police station is amazing. And then you also go into the sewers and then the laboratory, and then you even go below the police station and all the stuff like that into the parking garage and stuff like that. The setting of the police station to me has just always been the definitive place for Resident Evil for me, and it's kind of a shame that none of the Resident Evil adaptations have kind of like tackled it. Yeah, Welcome to Raccoon City kind of did it, but they didn't do a very good job at it. I really want to see them make a Resident Evil movie based off this game, just so I can see them in the police station. And of course, oh my god, my arm is itchy. I put a little that little icy hot thing or whatever on my arm. I was working out and I got a cramp. It hurt. Off topic. But of course, when you're talking about Resident Evil 2, it's kind of hard not to talk about the biggest highlight of this game, and it's probably the biggest highlight of the entire franchise, and that is Leon Kennedy. Leon Kennedy to me is the one of the most badass video game characters ever, especially when you get to 4. Especially when you get to 4. Oh, Leon Kennedy, or Leon Skennedy as I like to call him, because his name is Leon S. Kennedy. Then you put the S and Kennedy together, it's Skennedy. I'm sorry. But Leon Kennedy is, to me, the best character of the entire franchise, and I don't think that's a hot take whatsoever. And if you think differently, well, that's your problem. To me, Leon Kennedy is the best character of this franchise. I absolutely adore Leon Kennedy, where he's just a rookie, especially in this game, to where he's just a rookie cop, and he's excited for his first day. He wants to be that big hero that wants to save everybody, kind of similar to Spider-Man, where he wants to save everybody, but he can't, and he was just. Then sometimes he's also too late to where he also thinks that he can save everybody. And I absolutely just love him in this game alone, to where he's also just so likable with his stupid one-liner jokes, and he's always been known for "Where's everyone going? Bingo?" Like I think to me this is just one of the most badass video game characters and one of the coolest video game characters, and just one that you really sympathize with and really get along with, because you're playing him throughout the whole game, so you kind of have to get along with him. But throughout the whole game, you just can't help but think like, wow, this guy is a great character. I've always said that, like, to me, Leon is the face of Resident Evil. To me, Leon Kennedy is the definitive character of this franchise. If you were to ask me like who's the face of Resident Evil, I would say Leon. Leon to me is the face of Resident Evil and is the best character of this franchise, and this is an amazing introduction for him. And they went throughout, we slowly develop him throughout the game, and then we develop him more and more throughout the franchise within 4. And I haven't played all of 6, but in 6 he has a little bit of development, which is why I'm so excited for him to finally come back to this franchise with the new Resident Evil Requiem. I am so excited.
I think I want a second opinion.
Excited to see what he does in that game, and so excited to play as him once again in that game. There are theories that he's gonna die, but I refuse to fucking believe it. I am so excited for him to come out into this new game, and it all started with this game right here, and this is a great introduction for him. However, maybe in the older games, I probably wouldn't care for him too much. Also, side note, when it comes to Leon in the movies, he's a fucking pussy. I fucking hate how they treat him. And when I was talking about this game's graphics, the creature designs in this game are absolutely flawless. I absolutely love the way that they designed these zombies and made them look, and how vicious they made them look. Like, there's some with like half their jaw eaten off. There's some with their faces just completely gone. Some of them don't even have fucking arms. The zombie designs alone are just absolutely one of the coolest zombie designs I've ever seen in a video game, and I think that they are absolutely terrifying looking, and I absolutely love that. And not only just the zombies, and then you get to the Lickers, who are probably one of the most popular creatures in this franchise when they only show up for one fucking game, really. Or actually, they show up in 3, so 2 games, really. And the Lickers have an awesome design to where they are freaking scary to walk by, dude, because they don't see you. They're like the creatures from A Quiet Place. You got to be quiet when you're walking around them. Like, you can't make a noise. And then when they're coming after you, like, you're like screwed, because they'll fuck you up with their big ass tongue. What else can they do with that tongue, actually? And then you also get Mr. X, which I'll talk about him separately. He's a cool design, especially when he gets when the huge finale happens when he gets blown up and then fucking half of his arm is gone and it just becomes a huge ass claw. Like the creature designs in this game are just absolutely flawless, to where they make them absolutely terrifying to look at, and even the sound design for them, like when you hear the zombies like ah! And stuff like that. Like the designs of the creatures in this game are just they're so awesome to see. And I keep talking about them, so my final positive is Mr. X. Mr. X is one of the coolest monsters of this entire franchise. I don't think he's like number one, but he's definitely top five for me just from this remake alone. Now I hear that he doesn't really show up all that much in the original, from what I hear, but I don't know. It's been a while since I've really seen anything on the original game. But Mr. X is probably the scariest part of this entire game. He made this game scary because especially the first scene when you get introduced to him, where he just lifts up that helicopter and then just chases you down.
Jesus Christ!
That scene alone, like it has you shitting your pants. You're like, holy fuck, what the hell is that guy? And then like you think he's like a one-time appearance after that. No, he's walking around the police station. Like, say you're trying to do puzzles, and then you hear him walking around, and you can hear him get closer to where you're trying to figure out like where he is. And like especially in the library when you're moving the bookshelves and you're like, Jesus Christ, shut up, he's gonna show up because you're making so much noise. And you like especially his footsteps, like when you can hear him above you or right in the room next to you, and to where you're like, oh shit, where is he gonna come? And then when he finds you, like he will fuck you up. Like you can't shoot him, like you can't just like stand there shooting him and hopefully he dies. Like if you have like a powerful enough gun like the Magnum and shoot him in the head a few times, like he goes down for maybe like a minute and then he's back up and he's gonna try and kill you again. Mr. X is one of the coolest things about this franchise, and is probably the one of the coolest things about this game. He is also the scariest thing about this fucking game, to where it's just like, and when he's chasing you, you kind of get a little frustrated. You're like, dude, leave me the fuck alone. I get it, you're big, scary, but you're like, leave me alone. Now moving on to my negatives, and my negatives are very small. It just tells you how much I love this game. One of the things that really bugged me throughout this whole game, and it's just a me thing, I guess, but these fucking zombies, they don't die, dude. They are tough. Like in movies and stuff, and like in movies and comic books and TV shows, just like, oh, you shoot a zombie in the head and they're dead. Not in this game. These zombies are tough.
What the hell? Damn it. Why won't you die?
You will shoot them a shit ton in the face, they will go down, and then they get right back up and start chasing you again. The only time they're really dead is when their fucking head explodes, basically. Like when they're all in the goop and they look like the fucking alien egg when it opens up, when their head fucking looks like that. Like a beautiful butterfly. Or something like, or a flower. That's when they are actually fucking dead. And then when you also try and kill the fucking lickers, they take forever. You gotta shoot them a shit ton with a shotgun for them to die. Like, yeah, the zombies and the creatures in this game, they don't die. Like, if you think they're dead, think again. They're still alive and they're gonna kill you. And one thing that I don't really understand of why they kind of included it and kind of made it part of the whole game and then continued it to Resident Evil 4 with Leon is the knife breaking, because one of the big essentials that they give you at the beginning of Resident Evil is a knife to use. Like you don't really use it much throughout the whole games, but I felt like it was weird that your knife could break, which does add to that survival horror of this game, to where it's just like you can only use the knife so many times, but it's a pretty fucking weak knife. Which I do like how they actually get you to use the knife in this game, to where like if a zombie grabs you, you can stab him and then push him away and run by him or whatever. But it takes damage as you do that, and basically if your knife is broken, like, oh, you better hope that you find a knife on the way back. Which I'm glad that they made the knife useful, because in other Resident Evil games you can just leave it and it doesn't harm you in any way. So yeah, I like how they included the knife, but I don't like how they let you break the knife a shit ton. Overall, guys, this is one of the best video games I've ever played. I really enjoy Resident Evil 2. It is one of the best survival horror games. It's one of the best horror remakes ever. I absolutely enjoyed this game. I absolutely love this game. It is It's arguably my favorite of the franchise, but I don't really have a favorite if you ask me. But I absolutely love this game. It is an absolute must play if you have not played it. If you're a huge Resident Evil fan, I don't know what you're doing with your time not playing this game yet. But yeah, if you have not played Resident Evil 2 and you enjoyed the first game that I already recommended, or maybe actually, even if this is your introduction to the Resident Evil franchise, then this is definitely a good game to play to get introduced to this franchise with. So yeah, I absolutely love this game. Please, for the love of God, play it if you haven't already. So, what do you guys think about the Resident Evil 2 remake? Have you played it? What do you think about it? Do you like this game? Do you not like this game? Let me know in the comments below and we shall talk about it. And if you like this video, like it. If you love to subscribe, hit the bell notification so you will get notified for all of my latest videos and the rest of my Resident Evil video game review series and my upcoming movie review series of the Resident Evil franchise. Until those videos, I'll see you all next time.